Building downtown. Building downtown. Building downtown.
Hey, this is The Building Downtown. I'm your host, Jason Kelly. Don't forget to follow the show on Instagram and Twitter at The Building DT. Follow and subscribe on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, wherever you get your podcasts from. You can follow me at JKellyMMA. You can follow my co-host Amy Barton at Ames Bell, Kirill Kasatskiy at Apostle Reps. And we got a guest with us today. Real quick before I bring him in, I got to consult here with my my co-host Amy. Amy, we've talked to the guy we're going to bring here in a second last night a little bit. Now, it's usually you just announce them as a battle rapper, or just like do we call him a judoka, a martial artist, a stand-up comedian, fanatic? What do we go with here?
I mean, that just sounded like a whole bunch of words to me. So
I mean, if you're right, you could say the guy that Trez is going to wash, right? Is that what you would
yeah,
say?
that's
I think maybe we should bring So Severe in here and get fucking loud. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, y'all? The Building Downtown. How y'all doing today?
Fucking great and
Good,
happy
man.
to have you here, man.
Yeah, thanks for making time for talk to us.
Yeah, it's some fun one, but that's funny
man,
because
I'm not doing nothing but trying to book a steakhouse for my girlfriend's birthday and see what kind of fishing we're going to do. So I appreciate y'all for giving me a cerebral break.
Give you an exit. Sorry, baby, I got something to do.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be like, you know this whole battle rap thing that's like paying for it? Yeah, this is what we're doing.
Oh shit! So, coming off a nice performance last weekend, you looked good. You got Chef Trez up ahead.
Thank you.
You looked, and it's because I joked about that. And last night, you and I were talking off air, and I know you and Amy talked a bit, and you had some fun with her saying in her prediction in the previous shows. For those who didn't hear the South recap, she thinks Trez is going to beat you based on that performance you saw last weekend. And last night, you and I talked, and you were laughing at it. You're saying, you appreciate that honesty and stuff. And what's it like when you hear that feedback? When you first started hearing, whether it be negative or however you want to take it, was there ever a point it pissed you off and you learned something to deal with, or have you always just let it roll right off your back?
No, absolutely. It definitely used to get to me. One of the biggest things that kind of like affected me kind of mentally was when I battled Charlie Clips. Now, I battled Charlie Clips very prematurely, and I wasn't ready for it. And because of which, you can tell on stage, even though I feel like my bars were very good, there was a poise factor that I was missing. There was something that time just fixed. It was just way too premature. But me not knowing that, being in the time that it was, I'm just thinking like, okay, I did good.
Yeah.
Until I read the comments on YouTube, and those YouTube people can be
harsh,
reckless, real reckless. And it did get to me. But to be honest, at that time, I wasn't in the best place financially, mentally, what I mean, and all of that. So that kind of played into it. I set way too many expectations for that. I was like, I'm a battle Clips, King of the Dot and URL are going to see it. I'm going to start getting paid $10,000 a battle, and then I don't have to fucking go house to house trying to figure out what I'm going to eat the next day. You know what I'm saying? And when all that obviously did not happen, I had kind of fell into a little dark place. And the irony, me getting back into martial arts is what got me kind of mentally ready and prepared. Getting slammed on the mat, getting choked out, punched in the face every day.
Yeah, good ass kicking will humble you.
It humbles you. It puts you in a place where you're like, you know what? There's worse things. Like a 15-year-old girl just put me in a fucking Juji Katami and almost popped my shit out of my socket. So, you know what I'm saying? There's way worse things than battle rap going awry. So now, honestly, it doesn't get to me anymore. Not at all. And I've been able to just take myself out of it, and like, how would I see it if I was in someone else's shoes? Because the city of Atlanta actually has it dead even. The city of Atlanta, who knows me, who's seen me battle for years and years and years, they're like, I hope y'all realize that this is not about to be no walkthrough for Trez. And even Trez said it. Trez was like, well, I told in the interview, he said, well, the question was, who do you have coming out of the South? And Trez said, if it isn't me, it's going to be So Severe, before we even knew we were going to be matched up. So the ones who do know, they know. And the ones who don't know, I just have to chalk it up with me not me not being as relevant as Trez, me not being, as experienced on the main stage as Trez, and it's understandable. I get it.
Yeah. The spotlight's not there as much. Now, one thing you even talked about last week, you toned down the loudness a bit. Now, against Scotty P, that was also a small room, right? And you definitely didn't tone down the loudness.
Yeah.
Is that something you learned from that experience in the small room? Because that was, how long was that? Last year, right? Scotty P?
Yeah. Yep. That was Massacre.
Yeah.
The last Massacre.
Mm-hmm.
Now the thing is, I was not told, but I was kind of like alluded to, and then I made an assumption that it was only going to be me and Scotty and Direct in the room. That's it.
Oh wow.
Wow.
This was before the West Coast round went. So I was thinking how the caffeine URL battles were working. How there's literally just two people there. It's kind of dark around them, and you can hear one or two, three people kind of reacting. So because of that, I wrote expecting there not being a crowd. So I was like, there's no point in me getting loud. There's no point in me engaging into the crowd. Those performance bars that I do, I think that it will be real cringy in a small room with no reaction.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I wrote the way I did. I thought I was being strategic, but
personally, I thought that was the right. I thought it was the right amount of energy right there because, I see you going any harder. You know what I mean? I like that performance. I think that was the right amount of energy, and the steps you took were right.
Thank you. And I've been having issues with my third rounds. People saying that, like, I've heard some, critics saying things like, "Oh, Severe falls off in his thirds," or "I don't think he writes as hard for his third rounds as he does for his first two." But the reality is that I win myself out. I kind of like, no offense to anyone, but I blow my load in the first round, just spazzing and losing my mind. And then in the second round, I keep up that same intensity. By the third round, my throat hurts, I'm sweating all crazy, and I kind of just, instead of playing a long fight, I kind of just like throw everything I have in the first two rounds. Now, if the dude ends up edging out one of those rounds, I'm now at a super disadvantage in my third. So it's just some things that I had to just kind of learn with making mistakes and experiences.
And you said there too, you kind of went into a dark place. Like what's a dark place for you? Is drugs or like what were some of the troubles you can go through if you can talk on them?
Yeah, I have no problem talking about it. I guess drugs, but like not like the stuff that you should be like non-proud about, just psychedelics and weed.
Oh,
but,
okay.
So no, not drugs. But at that time, so I'm originally from New Jersey, Atlantic City. I moved to Atlanta when I turned 18. I literally only had $250, and I was staying at the same exact homeless shelter that Tyler Perry was staying at before he ended up blowing up on Pine Street in Atlanta. They ended up closing it down. So I was an 18-year-old living in a homeless shelter, and I started from the bottom, man, and I was washing dishes for $7.50 an hour, and I ended up, just kind of working up into, I became a bartender, and I started making a lot more money, and I was able to get my own apartment. Now, when I got my apartment, I got a girlfriend. Girlfriend moved in a brother who did have bad drug issues, to the point of which he was stealing from me, and
no shit.
We got into a physical fight, and there was an issue where I went a bit too far in the fight.
Yep.
And I was arrested for it. I got arrested for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was not allowed back like 100 yards from the apartment that I bust my ass for, that was in my name, that fucked my credit up, that, you know what I'm saying? And I still had all the bills in my name, but because I lost control, I wasn't allowed back there. So I ended up going back to the homeless shelter while having an apartment in my name, while, just buying a car. And then I battled Charlie Clips 2 weeks after that.
Oh, Yeah, so you weren't even in the right place mentally, right?
No. And you can see
that sounds like the type
just,
of shit that could distract you a little bit.
Yeah. It was, but once again, you know what I'm saying? I could have handled it better. You know, I really could have handled it better. And I had an opportunity to help myself and to teach someone that to this day I love. I still love that guy to this day. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't take advantage of the opportunity, and I had to deal with the justice of it, and it is what it is.
Did you have a criminal record from it? Were you charged and convicted and everything?
No. So what this is what's awesome about it. So in Georgia, you have the whole stand your ground law, and he provoked the fight. So the irony is, if I would have pulled out my pistol and shot him, I would have never went to jail because it was in my home and he attacked me. He did initiate the fight. But because I didn't shoot him and I physically, hurt him and I didn't stop. That was where I went wrong. I didn't stop. When he was done, he was restrained. He wasn't a threat anymore. I didn't stop. So that's where I was wrong. But if I would have unfortunately, if I would have just killed the dude, I would have none of this would have been an issue. So that's how backwards Georgia is. But I waited for the officers to get there. The officer who should have been kind of prosecuting against me actually made a character statement because we had like this crazy good talk on my way to going to jail. And he was just like, man, I hate that I got to lock you up, man. You're actually a pretty cool dude. So, and big shout out to King of the Dot, man. Then having me cross over the border, I had got stuck in Buffalo, the Buffalo border.
Okay.
And they almost didn't let me cross when I battled LMS, my first GZ. They almost didn't let me cross because of I had an open case, and when I was 14, I had got caught up with this like crazy federal counterfeit money thing, but that's for another day, another story. So they had me in this room. Basically, like the bus that I took to get up there was about to leave me and all of that. And then, Organic, Gully, I was very open and honest with them about my charges, about how things look. They told me, like, listen, you do whatever it takes to get these charges clear, and we'll do whatever it takes to make sure, we can get you as many opportunities. So I bust my ass. I saved about $3,000, and I fucking got one of the illest lawyers, and he had got it completely expunged. It's gone. There's no record at all. I can freely cross, and I'm never looking back again. I don't even want to fight anymore.
Yeah, you do enough of that in training, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's nice to hear, though, because I was wondering if there were travel restrictions on you, because there are battlers who, over the years, they can't come to Canada. And me being up here, KOTD is in my backyard. So for years, there's a select group of guys. I'm not going to get into names because I'm sure people know who some of them are. Where I'm like, fuck, I would love to see this fucking guy, but I got to make a trip to Mass or some shit if I ever want to see some of these people. So I'm glad that you can.
And that's what I was scared of.
Yeah, it's a bitch, man. It's a bitch. King Fly as well. He's talked about it openly many a time, so it's not like it's any secret.
Mm-hmm. And Michigan had an amazing opportunity, and he got stuck at the border.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. King Fly
was supposed to battle like Real Deal, or like he had a big name.
Yeah, it was a huge name.
That was supposed to be his shot. Yeah.
Yeah, and then whatever happened to him after that? Because after that, seriously, man, he never really kind of recovered from it. He went back to I think he's living in Las Vegas right now. I was keeping in touch with him. He's a very, very good dude. But he just he had went through some he had went viral because a cop had stopped him for riding his bike without a light or something like that. He's been through so much during this time, man. Big shout out to Michigan because he has the resilience of a freaking monk, man.
Wow.
Yeah, freaking. I was wondering what happened to him. That's funny how some guys just
he never really came back from that, unfortunately. That really hit his hit his spirit and took it out of him.
Well, like you were saying too, even with the Clips battle, and you got to go all the way through with that. You're counting on something, right? This is good. This is an opportunity that's going to lead to so much more. And he didn't even get the chance to fulfill the opportunity. So I could get, that would set you. All right, back to the GP here. Man. I know Amy's got some GP questions she wants to get out of the way.
Yeah, dude, this is not even like a serious thing at all, but I'm just still annoyed. I'm annoyed from Sunday through now. This is the pettiest shit. I'm not gonna, it's just petty, but I hate the shit when somebody who is in a room with other people, interacting with other people, or supposed to be, does nothing but shout at the camera. Scotty did that the entire time. So aside from that being one of my personal pet peeves, do you have a preference as how people kind of approach a battle? Like, do you like being spoken to? Do you care if they're performing for the crowd or the camera and not toward you? Like, does any of that occur to you in real time?
Nah, it doesn't. It really doesn't. I have this like whole kind of like thing where I'm just like, however you want to express your art, your expression belongs to you. As long as it's not interfering with my expression, and as long as it's not crossing obvious lines. I don't necessarily believe that there's rules in battle rap, but there's like human courtesy rules, as I like to say. So as long as there's no like violation of like human courtesy and you're not interfering with my artistic expression, I don't care if you pull a daylight and drop your drawers and start taking dumps. It doesn't matter.
What do you think about when people start pocket checking and touching each other and stuff and grabbing each other's clothes and stuff, grabbing by the jacket collar and shit? Like, is that crossing a line?
No, I don't think. I don't think so. That would be a bit hypocritical of me to say, because not as of recent, but in the beginning of my career, I was pretty physical. I actually pocket checked the shit out of Chris Petty to the point where like he dropped his alcohol. Like yeah. So I don't think that's crossing the line as long as there is a mutual respect. Now, if I really don't like you, if there's really like an issue and we're just kind of like being cordial for the sake of the culture, don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Yeah.
But I've been on some shit now where I don't touch people at all. I don't even do the finger or like the back of the knuckles to the chest. I don't do that at all. Like I keep my hands to myself. When I tell y'all I learned my lesson, I learned my lesson.
As somebody who trains in martial arts, you're very into martial arts, like as a fan and as somebody who's a practitioner. And like I've trained in the past too, right? So anytime I see fighting in battle rap, fans get right into it. I think it's the most fucking disgusting, embarrassing fucking thing seeing it happen. And then when they go on, like when Diz and Math were gonna have a boxing event. Honestly, that's an embarrassment and disrespecting boxing. You can't put on a boxing event and have two guys that.
I mean, if they can't come to a common ground and they're at the point where they want to fight, they might as well fucking fight.
Yeah,
they're two men. You know what I mean? If you know what I'm saying? But that's what I mean. As long as it doesn't happen during the battle. No, but I mean, if you know, afterwards, if they come to a point where they decide that they can't find a common ground and they just can't exist on this fucking planet without a fight, just let them fight and get it over with. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, that was always my thing. I've fought 3 people before events, twice before a PG.
Really?
Yeah. I'll reserve the names because we're actually all very, very cool now.
Yeah,
you know, and I don't. And we made sure that no cameras was rolling. You know, it was out of the way. Everyone was definitely my size, so that kind of limits if the GZ and PG world.
Yeah.
Basically, everyone over 6 foot and 300 pounds. I guess we just had it out for each other. So, yeah, I fought a few times before the PGs, and unfortunately, I kind of developed a reputation in Atlanta for fighting at events. Even to the point that at the Grand Prix, I was like standing with John the Don and Direct, and some random fan was like, "Oh shit, so severe." I was like, "What's up?" He was like, "Man, I remember when you got into a fight before da-da-da-da." And I'm like, "Oh shit." And then Direct was like, "Yo, Severe, you about to go up?" And I'm like, "All right, cool." And then he goes, matter of fact, we're gonna let this was for the face-off. He goes, "We're gonna let Chef Trez and Latazé do their face-off." And then I didn't say anything. I was just like, all right. He was like, that's cool though, right? You're not about to just start scrapping with anybody. And I'm like, golly, man. Like,
yeah, you don't want that rep.
Yeah, it's a bad rep because people who are genuinely like good people want to kind of like distance themselves from you. Yep. And people who want to kind of test, quote unquote, your gangster, they'll try you. Like, oh, Severe is this tough guy. I bet you he won't be tough versus me. And it's like, what? Like, why?
Yeah, you'd rather go
out
and have a good time
I was just a mentally fucked up person at the time that needed to take a step back and just look at. I started realizing that I had it backwards. I was thinking my success or lack thereof in battle rap, that my anger was a result of the lack of success I was getting. When I feel like because I was getting so angry and because I was so just not spiritually there, it was affecting how I viewed my success. Because where one would say like, bro, you got flown out to Vancouver, British Columbia, you've been to, 18 different cities. And to me, that's a success. But in my head, it's like, but I'm not main page King of the Dot. But my PG didn't drop. So I had real warped views of what success was. So I had to just kind of switch that whole thing up.
Yeah, that's not the rep you want. And exactly like you said, it creates distance between people, and people aren't going to want to help you. Now, where D-Rex said that to you though during the face-off, whether he was half-ass joking or not, right?
He was joking. But he was serious too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Right? Like half-ass joking, right? Just but kind of like, yeah, I'm joking, but a lot of truth said in jest. Those face-offs, do you like doing those, or does it make you feel like you have to? Face-off. Yeah. Do you enjoy it?
Yeah, that was my first. Yeah, I thought it was cool. Like it was weird because I right before the cameras rolled, they were just trying to prep us like, yo, this dude is about to take $50,000 from you. You want to let him? We want you to get angry. We want you to yell.
No.
What? I was just gonna wait on this.
The fight.
Yeah, but I was just gonna wait on this quick. Like when boxers do it or MMA fighters do it, right? When they get into the ring, they don't really talk. I don't see it. I see a face-off before a battle is kind of weird because I want to hear what you're gonna say in the ring.
Yeah, they're talking shit.
It was weird, and it's kind of just like who can say the fastest, wittiest comeback.
Yeah.
Like. So I was trying, but at the same time, I'm also like, I am like literally actively doing my best to change how I would react to things. So that was a big test for me because I knew what he was going to say. Oh, I'm battling a nobody. Why does Ladazé get Chef Trez, but Scotty gets so severe? And I was already prepared with all of that. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to just like, yeah.
When active and
no. Basically, I just wanted to just like say my piece, let him say what he had to say, and just let the bars do the talking. I'm not trying to just like create unnecessary drama when I have a history of drama. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, Amy, you got some GP questions. I keep taking away from you.
No, it's all good. I was just.
We keep going other angles, and Amy's like, "If I was going somewhere here."
No, this always happens. It's all good.
Amy, if you want to ask me any questions, you can see me at the building uptown. No.
Okay. Well, anyway, so like I was saying, Trez is gonna no. But and actually, you know what? I still at this moment I stand by my prediction. I hope you prove me wrong.
Yeah.
Frank, but I should qualify that though I mean what I said, I meant that based on those two performances that day. And you did mention, I mean, you've done the King of the Dot thing. He really hasn't so much as you, but as you said, I mean, he's got twice the battles. He's got 6-8 times the views. He's got a lot more experience. So I think that's where a lot of people, and he already had buzz coming with him into this, so I think that's where a lot of people went, well, I don't know. This bracket isn't the West bracket, and these aren't all like King of the Dot guys, really. So I don't really know, but it should be good. And then, there were a couple lackluster moments.
Hopefully the boss aspect of it won't affect judges too much, right? That's what we're trying to steer away from here.
Right. So
you know what I'm saying?
I was about to say, like, I think it's lucky for multiple people at that event that it wasn't West bracket judging type of night. So
after that Carter performance,
and I get it, man. I'm hoping I'm just hoping that when I first saw Anderson Silva versus Chris Weidman, because I didn't know who Weidman was, I completely wrote him off. I completely wrote him off as a fighter. I didn't even watch the fight. I just assumed. Yeah, I was just like, okay, all right, well, 14 wins as a champion. You know what I'm saying? But
the underdogs are the best, though.
Say it again.
But underdogs are the best thing to see, though. Like, don't you want to see the dogs?
Yeah, exactly. But because of my lack of knowledge on the underdog, I didn't make a prediction based off of facts. I made it based off of feelings.
Right.
And I think, I'm not saying that that's you, Amy, at all, because you clearly explained why, and it makes sense. But I do feel like maybe about 70% of the people who do have Chef Trez winning is based off of that. Like, well, I know who Chef Trez is, and I know what he's capable of. I don't know who this guy is, but that works in my favor because it's like a no expectation, everything's a reward. So if I go out, when I go out and lose my fucking mind, it's way more, oh my God, than if Chef Trez drops 3 of them things on me. We've heard 3 of them things every battle. But so I think that works for me because it's like the judges will be like, holy shit, this nobody just pulled up and wowed out on Chef Trez.
Well, okay, so the second part of that question though is about just to circle back the rest of the way, is that you were talking about it used to bother you when people would say things, now you like the feedback and everything. Does that apply across the board, or when it's another battle rapper? Like, does that get under your skin if maybe somebody in the position of having a lot of people listening to their opinion says something that isn't maybe the nicest about your performance?
I don't know, man.
Take a lot of feedback.
I don't know. Yeah, I do, but I've been doing a real good job at just like understanding other people's perspectives. See, the thing is I genuinely love Chef Trez. He's like my little bro. I seen him come up when he was just a freestyler at Spit That Heat, and to see where he's at now, it makes me proud. So it's not like I have this like, yo, I'm fucking better than him, and y'all need to understand that. I love that kid. I love him. I genuinely, like, if he needed anything, I would drop what I'm doing to make sure he has what he needs. So in this specific case, no, it doesn't bother me at all. Now, I've had Vodafly, speak highly of me, and then I've had Vodafly drag me. Every single time I've ever been mentioned on the Champion, whatever show with Jay Black, it's been negative. He's never, ever, ever, ever said anything good about me. Never.
Not once. Why?
Not one, literally not once. Like, and I don't know why, other than he doesn't know me. And every time he's had to speak on me, it was because I was battling a name that he was aware of. So,
well, I guess the better way to have asked that should have been, when it is other battlers, is that something that you consider feedback and that you would draw some kind of, something constructive from?
Constructive criticism is important, right? That's where you get your feedback, and that's how you grow.
Of course, absolutely. I take all criticism. I do take it with a grain of salt. But when there's kind of technical things, especially when it's coming from someone who is involved in the art craft, like when Charlie Clips was like, bro, you need to pace yourself better. You need to work on your breathing. You need to calm down. Okay, let me pace myself better. Let me work on my breathing.
there could be they could be hating and there could be a criticism, right? When somebody just says, "Oh, your shit is whack," it's like,
exactly. So yes, Amy. The short answer to your question, yes, I take the criticism, but I also kind of draw that line because at the end of the day, this is my artistic expression, and it's how I wanted to convey it. So whether or not someone felt like it was good enough is irrelevant because it was what I wanted to convey at that moment.
Oh, for sure. I just I noticed that we're the further we get into people getting more comfortable with the Twitch platform, there are more and more and more other artists coming into the actual chat and being very, very involved. And I wouldn't say I was surprised at a lot of the commentary, but there were a few moments where I was like, dang, all right, y'all, during various battles. I'm not specifically saying yours, but I was just like, they can't see this. You're not at the event. It bothered me a little bit. And that's what made me think of the question, because I did see a comment about when you were, I don't remember what round you were in, from somebody that would be considered one of the most experienced, that I was like, you could offer up some feedback though, and not just say this is shitty. And it bothered me.
Oh, Thesaurus?
Yeah.
Someone said that Thesaurus said, which I found very ironic coming from Thesaurus, that he said that my dog scheme was dog shit or something like that. And which I thought it was a pretty clever dog scheme.
I missed the first time. He said Severe's wordplay is not good in this, straight up, and then after that he said the dog scheme was dog shit.
Yeah. And I the thing is literally right after Thesaurus got done battling Madflex, him and Madflex had gave me amazing praise, great praise. And Thesaurus had mentioned how when he first found out who I was during Town Business 1, and he was outside and he can hear every single word I was rapping from outside. And he was like, who the fuck is this guy ruining my smoke break? I'm trying to have a break and I can hear everything he's saying. And he said he came in and he became a fan. And then the next week he, made the comments in the post. So it's like, what do I do? Do I get mad because he didn't like, what I was trying to do this week, but last week he gave me amazing praise? I feel like he just cancels it out. And at the end of the day, it is what it is, man. Thesaurus loves going in on people. He's a funny guy, and he's a legend in this. So it is what it is. I don't feel no kind of way about it.
He might be just stirring shit up, right?
Well, yeah. I feel like he probably truly felt that way. He is an amazing writer. He is one of the craftiest writers of all time. So to him, he probably has thought about 18 million different dog schemes. He probably, his wordplay is out of control. So to Thesaurus, as someone of that stature, I'm sure he probably did.
Well, you know what? And you know what? Just keep that in your back pocket for a couple months from now in the event that you end up seeing him in your future.
I've seen that bracket, and we might end up having yeah. So let's see. It's different when I'm in your face. So let's see how that goes.
Yeah, I know the way the bracket crosses.
I love Thesaurus, man. I love Thesaurus. I personally feel like his cadence is super dated and annoying. Hitting days in, put your plays in 60 days in. He should really consider a distribution deal with Dr. Seuss. But, one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. But no, man.
All right.
I love that guy. He's awesome.
Great. Yeah, the way the brackets cross over there, I didn't realize that till recently, but apparently it's been right in front of my face the whole time. Who do you see coming out of? It's safe to say you see yourself coming out of the South. Who do you see coming out of the West?
Right.
Do you think it's the Source?
No. So I guess who I see and who I want. No. It's the same. I see and I want Saint to come out of the West.
Fuck yeah, that's the battle I want to see. I was going to say that.
Yeah, I truly do not think Thesaurus can beat Saint oh, excuse me, in that kind of setting, you know, with all the LA guys around them, and like, you know, it's a bit more grimier than what I thought it would be, knowing like the King of the Dot crowd. It's actually pretty like bunkerish, but with a bit more Crips in there, a little bit more Crips, you know. It's like the bunkers sprinkled with Snoop Dogg's and Geechee Gotti's. But so I do think that, you know, in a setting like that, Saint does have the advantage, and I would love to see Saint come out of the West, and I would love to battle Saint. I think that would be a dope ass battle. Really two of the newer guys who's representing King of the Dot, you know, just going at it, and like I love the Saint. I think he's super talented, and I want to see him coming out of the West. Yep.
Yeah, man, I like Saint a lot. Like, I'm a big fan. I like what he has to offer, and I'm really excited to see what he has to bring in the coming years, because he's only going to get better, right? I'm really excited for that shit. In these,
Saint.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say Saint is like the living reference that every single battle matters, and if you have to treat every battle like it's your last one, because if Saint would have took Geechee Gotti way more seriously than he did on King of the Dot, Saint would be in Geechee Gotti's position more than likely. Mm-hmm. But because he didn't take that battle so seriously, Geechee beat the dog shit out of him.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
He washed him. And and that wasn't even like, when you watch that battle, you're like, is this the Saint that this isn't Saint, like, you know? And it wasn't like Geechee Gotti was lyrically superior. It was the best Geechee Gotti. He just had his overall package way better than what Saint had. And the roles could have been switched. So, yep. Yeah.
Yeah, these events, 4 battle events. The West one wasn't too long. The South was a little longer. It was like, what, 4.5 hours or some shit?
I found South more entertaining.
Yeah, I did, because Ack was awesome. Ack Baby killed that shit in the intermissions. But for you're first up. Obviously, you don't want to leave. What the fuck do you do standing around in that fucking venue with no crowd? There's not much going on, I'd assume. Like, does it seem like it's a long time? Would you like it to be more condensed?
Well, man, I really want y'all to come to an Atlanta event, because there's a number of reasons why that event took long. One, I don't know if y'all noticed, but it literally started raining in the building.
Yeah. I was like, fucking saying that. It was raining inside. I was like, what kind of ghetto fucking shit are we doing here?
Yeah. Now, when it started raining, the entry is on this like crazy slope, so it created like this middle-aged moat that surrounded the entire venue. And all of us, you know, we got all these $500 shoes, and you see girls jumping on guys' backs, and you know, and so but what I was going to say is Atlanta events are almost every single time it's like a family reunion. Because Atlanta is such a transplant city, people from everywhere come here and live here. So you never know who's going to pop up. Like, you know, John the Don popped up. The guys from Dungeon Family who gave Future his first start, and the reason why Future is a superstar, because of them, they were in the building.
I know who Dungeon Family is. That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Dungeon Family were in the building. Diligent was in the building. Like,
so it was entertaining enough for sure.
Yeah, it's a regular Atlanta event. You know, Killer Mike is one of my closest friends. He's pulled up to battles at Atlanta events before. New Face, the hip hop historian and contributor to the Trap Museum, he pulled up to the event. He actually made my shirt versus Charlie Clips.
Holy shit! So it's that close. That much of a tight knit community.
Yeah, exactly. So Atlanta,
y'all down there having a party while we're watching people talk to a Twitch chat room, is what you're saying.
Exactly. That's exactly what's happening. And it was. I'm telling you, there was so much asymptomatic COVID spreading going on. Do
you guys have to get tested? Is it part of your contract thing?
No. Atlanta like completely gave up. Like, People are walking in clubs. People are walking in clubs barefoot. I seen a girl on the curb throwing up in between her legs with her bare ass on the curb. You know, like Atlanta gave up. Atlanta's like Weapon X. Like they're gonna find the antibodies in a lemon pepper wing somewhere down here.
Yo, we were talking the other day. We figured out that one of our many hobbies that we have in common is also stand-up comedy. And like we've seen Caustic cross over and do it. Sharon did a little bit of it with that like battle comedy shit or whatever it is that Jeff Ross has in the Belly Room in Vegas somewhere. Is that something you've ever thought about doing? Dirtbag Dan did it. He was really good.
Actually, I've done a few open mics here, and there's a club in Atlanta called Evolution Comedy. And I've done a few sets there. I got like a 5 minute that I tend to work on, and I kind of like interchange. But comedy was actually one of my first passions before I started rapping. Like my stepdad was a real kind of like he just wasn't a good guy, and he didn't allow. He was real strict Muslim, and he wouldn't allow rap music in the house. So the only thing I was allowed to watch on BET to get some sort of culture was Comic View at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
So I would watch, Comic View with Bruce hosting, and then I became that's where I was introduced to Gary Owens when he became the host.
Yeah. And
that was my god sister, who at the time before she transitioned, took me on my 7th birthday to see Martin Lawrence run Tell That.
Oh wow!
No shit.
That's
nice.
Yeah, she snuck me in. Now, at the time, she went by Kevin, and yeah, she got me in there, and that was the first time I ever seen like a rated R movie. It was Martin Lawrence Run Tell That. Now, my god sister unfortunately passed away a couple years ago. She was battling a lot of demons and ended up overdosing, which is a big issue in the LGBTQ community, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But she was the one who was very, very active in making sure the things that I loved was exposed to me somehow, So yeah. Big shout out to Keish. I love you so much. I miss you so much.
Damn, yeah. So when I asked you earlier, we were talking, you said you said about a dark place. The drugs you were doing were just psychedelics and smoking weed. Is that, usually if somebody's that impacted by someone that close to them that overdoses and passes away, does that make you more of a against drugs person?
Well, yeah, and then my mom and my dad, my biological father, are both very bad alcoholics to this day. And my mom, she experimented with, it was the 90s, so she experimented with a lot of things that kind of put us. I'm the oldest of 6 kids on her side, so it put us in a lot of. I just turned 30 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'll continue.
Yeah. And so she put us in a lot of messed up positions because of her drug and alcohol use. So that was like the thing why I never like kind of like went hard on like the hard drugs and alcohol. But my roommate, well, the guy who was letting me sleep on his couch, he was manufacturing psilocybin mushrooms at that time. And he would just like literally after every batch, he would just be like, yo, bro, there you go. And at that time, The Weeknd just came out with House of Balloons. So whenever you hear that House of Balloons drop, that was, oh my goodness, you want to talk about, the best trip
that was
ever.
an acid trip on its own.
Oh my goodness. So, but also at that time, Atlanta was real big on Molly. Like Molly was the number one drug in the city, and you could go anywhere and get Molly. It was easier to get Molly than to get a stick of gum. So that was that time, and really it was me like kind of hiding from myself. I wasn't ready to like face my history and face what I had to come to grips with. So I just drowned myself in psychedelics until I came out. Now, granted, when I was in Vancouver a couple months ago, I was you know how Vancouver do. So I was down there I was on Hastings Street with the homeless tripping balls. Like, so how is it in Calgary? But yeah, man. Yep, that was my little history with the drugs.
Oh shit, eh? Well, we're getting. I know you got to get going soon, and I definitely want to get some.
Oh no, I'm good, man. I don't got to train till 6:30, man. I'm solid. I'm having a blast with y'all.
Oh, perfect. I thought we were up against time here. Well, let's talk some fucking MMA.
No.
I think the next big one we got coming up is what, Khabib and Justin?
Oh shit!
Wait.
Yeah.
Before we get to big events, you talk about training. Do you have any favorite trainers? I hear you like Bas Rutten.
Well, yeah, I love Bas, but I love Bas Rutten. You know what? He would be my. I feel like Bas Rutten. Icy Mike on YouTube. Funny enough, I love him to death. I don't know why I love that guy. But Bas, he's like that image of how a big scary ass dude that can take your fucking head off with open palms can also just be so nice, so humble, relaxed, willing to teach. You know, when he got his hands on Kimbo Slice and literally turned Kimbo Slice into a legitimate MMA fighter, it's like he didn't have to do that. You know, he's Bas Rutten. His legacy is solidified. You know, so yeah, Roach. As far as the boxing goes, I love Freddie Roach as a boxing trainer.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my goodness, what's my guy's name? Oh, what's his name? He is, I believe he's Middle Eastern. He's real slim. He did the Joe Rogan experience, and he was basically talking about the watering down of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and how like BJJ gyms are becoming like McDojos now and things like that. I can't believe I can't think of his name. And John Danaher. He's awesome.
Okay, so you got a nice little spread there.
Yeah. So I just gave you boxing, pancreatia, BJJ, and BJJ.
And that's not even normally a question I would ask most people that are just MMA fans, but like you clearly are like into all of it rather than like, I've got 3 favorite fighters. Oh my God.
That's me.
Right.
Right. Yeah, that is
and my thing of like favorite fighters, it's always personal. It's never because how good they are. Like, you know, like for me, like I think Izzy Adesanya is a ridiculous talent, but he's not my favorite fighter. There's just something about him that I just don't like. And even though he's 20-0, well, he claims 100-0. There's just something I'm not sold on. And every time I talk to people about it, they're like, bro, you're slow. He's amazing. There's like, what is it? And I'm like, there's just something I'm not sold on, but I can't logically make sense of it because he's style bender, but he's nowhere near, he's not even in my top 10.
But see, that's exactly it, right? Like, I can't tell you how many conversations I've had over the years where people want to fight about it because I don't like John Jones. I don't like Ronda. I don't like Conor. And I can sit here all day long and be like, yo, they are the best
now
to do
I feel
it.
like I'm being personally attacked.
I know. but like, I am happy to admit they are the best. I just don't like them. That's all. Like, right. Adele makes amazing music. I also don't like Adele. That doesn't mean she's not good at what she does.
Yeah, absolutely. I hate the Yankees.
You got to respect it though, right? You don't have to like it.
28 rings.
Right, but I feel like that's what the same way about Izzy, like you were saying. Like I get the hype around him right now, and I am interested to see where he goes moving forward. But right. I don't. He's not for me. He's not for me either. We can agree on one thing this whole time. It's that.
So I'm a huge fan of combat sports, not just MMA. I was living in Puerto Rico when Tough One dropped on Spike TV.
Jesus Christ!
That's a whole other story. This is gonna have to be a series of interviews.
I was about to say, by the way, you're coming on once a week for about a month or so. So anyway.
So I was living in Puerto Rico. I was 16 years old, and Tough One had just dropped. And none of my friends back in Atlantic City, no one in Puerto Rico, nobody. We were all still big on boxing. No one was watching MMA. And at the time, that was back when Rashad Evans was fighting heavyweight. He actually won heavyweight in Tough One.
Tough Two.
And that was when I was introduced to Chris Lieben, beating up doors, Josh Koscheck. I was just like, man.
Bobby Southworth, like Swick.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, this is dope. Like, this is like just all around fighting that, that kind of interests me. And no one around me, there were no gyms in Atlantic City. There is now. There's actually an American top team not too far from where I'm from. But then Frankie Edgar came. And Frankie Edgar's from South Jersey. He's from Toms River,
That's my
New
dude.
Jersey.
He's from Toms River. That's right.
Well, what you mean? That is my dude. Now,
you can have Rhonda
Edgar.
back up. Hey, you know what? Here's a story for you. I
her.
literally had to give Frankie a shirt off of my back one day.
Well, you are officially a New Jerseyan, and whenever I see you, we're going to have an Italian sub and a Pepsi.
Yeah, okay, go. But yes, Frankie's the man. So we agreed twice now.
Frankie Edgar, his dad is a very well-known plumber, and was, who owns like this slew, like a bunch of just like plumbing sites. I worked as an electrician for CCOM Electric, and we would do jobs. Like we had worked on a Country Inn and Suites hotel, and the Edgars plumbing were doing the plumbing for where we were doing electricity at. And I'm like 17 or something like that, and people were like, "Yo, this dude, he's about to be the next, MMA star. He's next." Da, 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 da. And I'm like, "Yo, I love MMA. I didn't know that people, actually watched it out here, And then fucking come to find out they were talking about Frankie Edgar.
Holy shit.
So I had an opportunity to not only meet him, but I could have taken that opportunity to be like, "Yo, where do you train? I want to get into training. I'm 17. I'm a hothead, but shit happens."
Oh, wait. Faraz Sahabi. Is that who you were talking about that was on Rogan?
Thank you, Faraz Sahabi. You're awesome, Amy. I don't care what you said about me.
I don't care either. All right, we're friends now. No, that was driving me crazy. Are you a GSP fan, or you just happen to? Because most people go. I said, are you a GSP fan? Because most people go GSP Faraz Sahabi, or do you just like Faraz independently?
I love GSP for the same exact reasons why I love Boss Rutan. He shows how you can be an absolute badass and still just be a decent human. Now the reason why I love Faraz Sahabi is because his theories and his teaching techniques make it so you're not going balls to the wall, blasting yourself out. He makes it so it's practical. So it's realistic, and so you don't wear yourself out, and you can train the next day. He had this amazing, just an amazing breakdown where he's like, "Yo, if you bust your ass 3 days a week, but you're tired 4 days, and I just go all right 6 days a week, who has more experience? The guy that just went crazy for 3 days, or the dude who's showing up every day and just giving as much as he can without killing himself?" And he was like, and people pride themselves in being sore the next day. You shouldn't be sore the next day, except in the beginning of your workout when you're trying to get into shape. But if you're already in shape and you're getting ready for a fight, you shouldn't be getting sore. Mm-hmm. So I just love that whole concept of, don't think because people are saying they're going balls to the wall that means that is a successful way of training. It's actually not.
Mm-hmm. Now back to current day. Khabib versus Justin Gaethje. Khabib's one of Krill's three fighters he knows. What do you think? Do you like that fight? You excited for that fight? What do you think is going to happen in that fight?
I'm excited because once again, judo, sambo, I love, and I love the Dagestan guys. I mean, I am fucking. If I win this 50K, I'm going to Dagestan and I'm going up to a mountain and I'm wrestling bears and goats.
Wow.
I'm
It's different out there, bro.
Yeah, Krill's actually from Russia.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like it's Islamic, and I'm from South Jersey, which has a very big Muslim presence. Now, I'm not Muslim, but I am very much aware and conscious of the culture. So I watched the Will Harris special where he was in Dagestan for a few weeks.
And,
they're like super Muslim though, bro. They're different kind of Muslim. They're very Saying like super.
Super. Like you can't even look at the women. Like it's serious. Yeah.
Very strict. Yeah. Up to a point you get punished for shit that you doing out here. You know what I mean? Like normal shit.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I obviously I like Justin Gaethje. I think he's a very, very talented fighter. I just feel like Khabib he's just on a different level. And of course the passing of his father, I don't know if that affects him positively or negatively. So that's kind of making it hard for me to predict it. But I really feel like Khabib is looking past this fight just to get his 30th versus GSP and just wrapping it up. And I don't see him losing. I really see Khabib going 30-0 before he hangs it up. And then hopefully if Islam fucking gains 30 pounds or some shit to take over, he's my favorite. I love Islam. I think he's just like he's all around. Like where I feel like where Izzy lacks, I think Islam kind of like makes up for.
What do you think about Zabit?
Oh, yo, Zabit is crazy.
Yeah, man. Everywhere too.
Yo,
the throws, the kicks, the punches, the spitting shit on the ground. He is fucking something else. Like he's a ninja.
He is crazy. Like there's people who I will watch before training, and like just to see technique. You know, I also do Filipino martial arts, Eskrima and Kali. Before y'all called me, I was doing my Sinawali drills.
The fuck don't you do, dude? What the fuck don't you do?
No shit. It's gotta be something. Do you bake?
Can you cook? Yeah. What?
But so like there's certain people that I will watch to kind of get inspired. Like, oh, I'm gonna try this, spinning elbow, or I'm gonna try like, the side guri, or things and such. I watch the beat and be like, yeah, I'm not doing none of that shit.
No shit.
So wait, random question here. If you could roll with literally anybody, who would it be? Dead or alive?
Helio Gracie.
We were talking about this yesterday. We knew you would say Gracie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Helio Gracie. I would. Because come on, like, matter of fact, no. No, not Helio. Rest in peace, the great Helio. I would want to roll with Hickson.
Hickson? Why?
Yeah, because he would kick my ass so bad.
If I had to roll with a Gracie, it would be Henzo, because he's got the talent, but he's also got a personality that's not super awkward, and like he's a good teacher.
Yeah, absolutely. Hickson is going to teach you after he breaks your arm.
Maybe not the best time to be learning, right?
No, but I feel like, you roll with Hickson. You roll with Hoist, he's going to be, Hoist is going to be nice and gentle, which he's going to teach you. Make sure you turn your hips over. Make sure you got to lean it back a little bit. Hickson is just going to be like, tap. Tap, motherfucker.
You should have tapped, bitch. Right.
You should have tapped. Now you learn. 10 laps around the mat. So yeah, Hickson. I would love to roll with Hickson, and I would love to meditate with Hickson. He does this crazy fucking ab worm thing. I'm sure y'all seen it before. When man, like he's in such control of his breath and his body that he can make his obliques and abs move separately. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I would get more than just rolling with Hickson. I feel like it would be like an overall, it'd be a fitness thing because he's a physical specimen. It would be a rolling thing. It would be a meditation, a breathing, a spiritual thing. So that is why I would choose Hickson, not because
and then the ayahuasca,
ass, but I feel like it'd be more. And then ayahuasca.
You mentioned earlier being spiritual, and now you just mentioned meditating. Is that something? I mean, is that in line with what you've also mentioned multiple times about, the older I get, the more I learn, the more humble, the more this, the more that, the more quiet, the more calm. Is that part of how that happened for you? Did you get into like being spiritual or meditating and that helped straighten out other areas of your life or your personality or your anger or whatever you've mentioned earlier today?
100%. 100%. Everyone knows me for being like a prolific weed smoker, but I actually haven't smoked weed in 30 days. And I plan on not smoking again until after the thank you so much. So
that one thing you gotta do.
You see why? No. So I would use weed to kind of like for the same reasons or what I'm using martial arts and meditating for. But as y'all know, in Japanese jiu-jitsu, in judo, we do seisa. And seisa is where you just, for a few seconds before you start training, you get into the seisa position, you breathe, and whatever you brought into the, before you walked into the dojo, you blow it all out, and then you get to training. And it works. It really does work. So I learned, I just really learned that like a lot of things in my life could have went different if I would have took 3 seconds to just breathe.
Mm-hmm. So I am gonna crawl so far up your ass on this off the show at some point.
Oh man, come on with it.
No, because
so you're gonna find something up there.
I've said this for years that I'm always like, I need to meditate. I want to meditate. I've said that forever. And then it doesn't matter who sends me what link, what practice it is, what approach it is. I can't detach from my brain. I can relax. I can calm down. I can do all these things. And then I'm still just sitting here like my brain won't shut off. And it's just going, okay, so now what? What am I waiting for? What do I do next? And like if somebody can fix me, and I don't know who it is. Somebody is going to say the right thing one time and it's going to click. Maybe it'll be you, because it sounds like you didn't have a real good reason to be that calm when you started doing it. And maybe you have the magic bullet, but I cannot figure it out. And I need to hear more about what you do when you do that off the show.
Yeah, well, the fact that your brain is still going and you can't just kind of empty your head while you're meditating says a lot of things about you positively. You're a critical thinker. You are probably very analytical. You probably plan out things very well, and your brain is always moving. I mean, I've been listening to your podcast for a few weeks. And you're real sharp. You're real quick, and that's just a reflection of your mind. Now, I'm the same exact way. As y'all can see, I'm a very talkative person, and my brain goes 1,000 miles an hour.
Right.
So when I'm meditating, I don't not think of anything. As much as people say that they do, you have to be like Miyamoto Musashi to be able to clear your completely. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the last person to completely clear their head was fucking Buddha. So what I would do instead of trying to completely clear my head is to simply only focus on breathing. That's it. And I just say to myself, in the nose, out the mouth, in the nose, out the mouth. And what will tend to happen is I would kind of just get into this little trance where
you hypnotize yourself.
Only thinking exactly. That's exactly what you're doing. In the nose, out the mouth. In the nose, out the mouth. And my brain still will go left, like in the nose, out the mouth, in the nose. I could really go for some oxtails. In the nose, out the mouth, in the nose, out the mouth.
See, you're speaking my language. That's exactly what my brain says.
But that's good. That's good. That means your brain is working, and that means the meditation is working. Because what you're thinking of is typically something that you really care about. You know, when you have that moment to yourself and there's no one around you and you're just breathing, the thoughts that are going to your head are some of the most important thoughts. So I say, I'm no professional. I'm so far. I tell everyone I'm a forever white belt. I tell everyone, I was like, I'm a white belt in 1,800 different martial arts. So I'm still, you know, I'm learning. But I say, don't run away from your thoughts, Amy. Embrace
No,
them.
I don't.
Embrace them
I'm asking you. It just drives me crazy because, like, thanks for the props or whatever.
Yeah.
But I feel like not turning your brain off. Nobody's going to clear their head completely, right? Except for Buddha, right? But I feel like having that, like, not even subliminal, but that, like, just continuation of thought that is like, okay, now what? I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm doing how this works. I'm doing what I'm told. I followed the directions. I'm doing it right. And I don't feel any better. And it's just like, I can't stop that. In fact, I wanted to ask you, are you on that float tank shit? Have you done a float tank?
No. I haven't done like the deprivation tanks or anything like that.
All right, do that. Get on Groupon, do that. Get back to me, because that I was looking so forward to for the very reason that is so sensory, deprivation. And it was the most miserable fucking hour of my life. I could not wait to fucking get out of there. There was like 10 minutes where I kind of zoned and I was like, this is magical. And then I was like, this is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
This is dumb. I'm floating in 6 inches of fucking water in the dark. But I want you to. I genuinely want you to do that. I feel like that.
I'm 100%. Probably like. I promise, 100%. I'm gonna do it. But yeah, and just keep trying, man. Even if your brain's gonna keep going. Don't let no one lie to you and say, "Yo, I completely just let go, man. I have an outer body experience, bro." And I'm like looking at myself from above. It's like, bro.
This shit is all about experience too, right? I just went through something where meditation helped me out a lot too. And when you practice it day after day after day, it gets easier, right? It's very hard to clear your head. Absolutely. Yes, you have to keep practicing, right? And you will achieve certain things, right? And it does help you unload, right? All the bullshit that you go through the day. Like I did my meditation at the end of the day, and kind of. You know what I mean? Just let go of the bullshit that happened during the day. You do feel relieved after you. I'm not gonna say I got a hold of it, but I did start understanding it at least a little bit, right? And it does help you a lot.
Absolutely. And Atlanta traffic too, man. Atlanta traffic is perfect.
Jesus. Yes.
Perfect time to meditate. You have all the time to meditate, and if you don't, you will lose your shit.
Fuck that. Toronto traffic's enough.
No, it's the worst.
All right. Back to the GP before we get out of here, because I think we're going to be doing you're going to be a recurring guest. I'm thinking. It sounds like you're a man of many stories, and this has been a ton of fun. The GP, though, you said you got Saint coming out of the West. Who do you think's coming out of the East?
I want Eddie I to come out of the East.
Look, he already plans on explaining himself. He said, okay.
I want Eddie I to come out of the East. I do think that someone like I'm still not sold on Bonnie Godiva's delivery. I think her bars and her content is good. It's her actual delivery that might not. If she can step up her delivery, she has a better chance than a majority of the people there. But I really do find Eddie to be the guy to beat. I don't think Rich Dollars is going to have as great of a comeback as people think he is. I think Show Off is amazing, but I don't think he has that King of the Dot kind of like charisma that Eddie I brings. So Eddie I really has to worry about head ice, I feel like. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I forgot about XL. You know, XL and Scotty P. No, Scotty P is in the north.
Shotty's in the north, yeah.
Yeah, Shotty's in the north. So I would go with either Eddie I or XL.
Yeah, and they're first up on Sunday too. Shit. And then the North. Who do you like in the North, or who do you think is going to come out?
I got the chant coming out of the
Real
North.
deal.
But I want Joey V. I'm rooting for Joey V.
Oh, yeah? You can't. Oh, I'm rooting for Marv.
Yeah,
okay, go ahead.
I'm rooting for Joey V, but I think Real Deal is just going to show that I mean.
The real deal.
I mean,
Yeah, I think the dark horse in that one was Marv 1.
Don't say it. That's what I'm saying, right? Come on, Marv,
experience.
though.
I mean, if he shines on the right nights throughout this tournament, I could see Marv 1 coming out of that. I'd say dark horse, though. Real deal, he is the champ. It's hard not to go with. And obviously, knowing Sharon, I kind of, gotta put some love there. But Shotty P, I like a lot too. So Shotty P takes out Sharon. I'd like to see what he can do. It's cool how the matchups can be made. There's different matchups that, just probably wouldn't happen in a regular event. But throughout this tournament, you never know who's going to see who.
I mean, let's not pretend like you're not stupid excited about Jonai.
Fuck yeah. That's going to be awesome.
I think Joey V going to get Jonai the fuck out of here again.
I'm about that life,
I think Jonai, I think the issue with Jonai was his kind of like, I don't want to say pinnacle because I feel like we never really reach our pinnacle, but I feel like the battle that was always his kind of dark cloud, he ended up getting, and it didn't obviously go his way, and I just don't know because of the drastic changes that battle rap has made since he's been gone. I don't know if he is current, if that makes sense. I guess the best comparison I could say is, do you think that if Matt Hughes was to start fighting right now, as Matt Hughes was back then, that he would be the middleweight champion right now?
Well, considering he barely made it through getting run over by a fucking freight train, no.
But yeah, so it's like, I feel like, at that time, Matt Hughes to me was fucking unbeatable. He was super strong, ground and pounding motherfuckers. But right now, someone with a collegiate wrestling background and a BJJ blue belt could probably tap that motherfucker if he slams you. So I just think, I'm just using that as an analogy. I think what Jonai does amazing, we've seen 1,000 times in the time that he's been gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this time away, I don't think, and his last showing wasn't great either. So this time away, I don't see how he can get better. Yeah.
Yeah.
So all right, so we're still talking Grand Prix. Oh Jesus. And we're looking forward, but I do have one backwards looking question is, do you have an opinion on Brack and Diz?
Yes, I was gonna ask that too.
Yeah. I mean, I had Brack Looney, of course. I was at work with my AirPod in, and I was only listening to it. So I was just going off of literal bars. But I heard the paper get slapped. When I heard Disaster slap the paper, and he goes, I knew this fool was going to do it because I brought a spare. I almost lost my fucking job. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what the fuck? And then, so after the battle, I didn't have time to listen to the whole fucking deliberation. So I just wrote it off like, okay, cool, Frack moving on. All right, bet Frack versus Soros is going to be the rematch. I get off of work and come home, and the fucking world just blew up.
Yep.
Yeah,
man. Like, whoa.
So you're saying that was a clear battle too, right? You're saying Frack got that too, right?
Yeah. I assumed Frack had won. I didn't even wait for the results. I didn't find out until I went home that night that all this shit happened.
On Sunday's show, Kirill and I got together because we were watching the battle separately. So right after Carter and Clone, Kirill came over to my place, and I said to him, they didn't announce the winner yet. And he was like, what the fuck do you mean? We know who won. I was like, did you see what happened last Saturday? Right? Like, fuck, I was hoping the same thing wasn't going to happen. And I mean, the South had their shit really together. Things were on lock. Things ran.
No, big up to Direct. He organized it right.
So I was like, still though, we gotta wait and fucking see. You never know after what we saw last Sunday. I mean, the Carter one would have been outrageous if Carter won that.
Well,
yeah,
clearly.
without a doubt. It's one of the last things that I speak on, or one of the last stories that I kind of like tell for this series of the So Severe, the building downtown.
Episode 1
is right. Episode 1 is to really express the living legend that we know of, D-Rec. D-Rec, from the day he called me, and because D-Rec was the one who actually asked me to do the tournament. And of course, he brought it to Gannick and Gully, and they were like, of course, man, we fucking love Severe, he loves us, let's throw him in there. D-Rec created a group page, a group message, an email list, you
say a
all
group page?
These different, I meant to say a group chat.
Are you 900 years old? Okay.
So he did a whole group chat. Like, he put us on an email list. He was so communicative and so fucking awesome during the process. It was one of the easiest, like, from the payment to the location to making sure we were mentally good. Just like, he went above and beyond to make sure that this was going to go as it went. Like, a lot of people are saying, oh man, Direct, you did a good job, but they don't really know like the level that he went to do a good job. He went above and beyond.
So I'm gonna hit you with a hard question here. Not Grand Prix, but back in the day, D-Rec, Dana White a battle rap, yay or nay?
The Dana White a battle rap, yep. He's okay. So I will say, is he the Dana White of battle rap? Okay, so you know what? I think that's fair, because Dana White wasn't the first president of the UFC, and Dana White he took UFC off of the hands before he linked up with the Zuffa brothers, and I feel like D-Rec. Yeah, absolutely. D-Rec is the Dana White of battle rap. He is. He took what we all seen and what we love, and he traveled all over the place to find, these battlers from completely different backgrounds, street battle rappers and backpackers, and he brought them to the same arena. Very, very reminiscent, and he did it in a palatable form. Same with Dana White. He said, we're going to stop the 12-6 elbows. We're going to stop the kicking to the head on the ground. We're going to make it more palatable for the masses. And I feel like D-Rec absolutely did that. So I feel like Dana White at battle rap is fair. He will never admit that, though.
Oh, no, he loved it.
Did.
When I asked him. I asked him. Oh, yeah. You've been listening to the show, though. Okay.
He just seems like the type that'll just be like, no, man, not me.
No, dude, he was like, yeah, whoa, what? I never thought of that. Yeah.
Well, you see how people change? He used to be, he took the arrogance that I had, and I took his humility, and now he's an arrogant asshole like I used to be.
Oh, boy.
He's earned it, though. He's earned it.
Man, had to.
All right, look, I'm tapping out, no pun intended, after this question, because at least my computer's going to die, and I know you got to roll soon and probably.
Yeah.
But would you, and the specific reason I'm asking this is because kind of the comedy angle, would you do a compliment battle? And if the answer is yes, which it's going to be, will you please do one?
Absolutely. I was who was I entertaining with doing a compliment battle with? I forgot who it was. I think because my absolute best friend and closest friend in battle rap is Don Marino, and we actually entertained him. We entertained us doing a compliment battle, but I don't know if I were to do a compliment battle, it would have to be against someone who I know would just fucking make me just piss myself laughing like a
No, that would be the best though. Come on.
And Rome's
okay.
from Philly, and I'm from 15 minutes from where he's from, so I think that would be like a dope, like bridging the gap of our area. I think our area would love something like that.
All right, so top 3 picks if you did a battle, compliment battle, who are they?
Rome, number 1. Pat Stay, man, because like no one can do it. Like no one can. Like he's so fucking sarcastic. I can't even imagine what he would come up with versus me. And,
bro, do you sleep on an incline press? Come on.
And the third person that I would do a compliment battle with would be Copacetic.
Really?
Wow, left field on that one.
The Ronan Pat I saw coming. That one was out of left field though.
Huh?
The Ronan Pat I saw coming, but that one was out of left field.
Yeah, I mean Ronan Pat is a super gimme because obviously they did the best compliment battle in ever.
Of ever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Copacetic definitely. Copacetic is such a fucking good person. And I think that, and I genuinely want to compliment his life. I would love to.
I can't. Oh, okay.
All right, Severe. Let the people know where to find you, and anything else you want to plug before we wrap this up.
Oh wait, no. How?
Oh
so
wait,
severe.
no.
Look, I generally know my homework, but like, where did "so severe" come from?
Yeah,
Is it a play on Savior? You know your name or what?
No, it's not actually. So Severe came from the dark time. I used to call myself E-Money. And yeah, because of a nickname that like my mom gave me, and just long story. But when I came to one of the homies in Atlantic City, and I'm like, yeah, yo, I want to be called Money. My name is Money. He goes, but bro, we all are poor. All of us are poor.
That's a real one right there, though.
Yeah. And so what ended up happening, it was like this big fight between where I'm from, the west side of Atlantic City, and this area called Stanley Holmes Village. And I was basically like fucking King Leonidas in that shit. I was picking up shit and throwing fucking push kicks and fucking Toshian motherfuckers. I was my shit. I went rage, and then that's where the name Severe came from. And I added the "so" because I love the 3-syllable names like Cassidy, Cicero, Cannabis. I love at that time I love the way those 3-syllable names fit. So that's where I added the "so."
Huh. Well, I'm glad that you're not, in essence, so severe these days.
No, yeah, right. Me too. I learned my lesson.
All right, let everyone know where to find you. Plug what you need to. As I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted. It's becoming a trend, Amy.
Kill yourself. Okay.
I know.
Y'all can find me on Instagram, So Severe, spelled normal. And y'all can find me on Twitter, Savior Dios, once again, spelled normal, none of that cool, funky spelling.
No dollar signs.
No dollar sign, no underscores, just straight lace. And y'all can find me on Facebook at Savior Dios. But more importantly, you can find me every third Sunday on Twitch at 4 o'clock.
Yes. All right. So So Severe, his enemy turned friend.
Wait, and every second Wednesday on the building downtown. But you didn't say that shit though. Okay.
Hey, we locked that in. I'm 100% down. I'm gonna have to re-download the Dazen app so I can keep up with the fights, because Amy seems like the type that wants to catch motherfuckers off guard, and I'm not happy.
I mean, you know, okay.
All right. For Kirill Kasatskiy, Jay Kelly, we out. Peace out.
Building downtown.